Hey everyone, ArdrethShadow here, and welcome back to Doki Doki Forlorn Heart Chapter 2, Nightmare. Previously we saw, well, probably one of the hardest things that I've had to write in having Akane get bullied. All because of some very shaky, loose association logic. Because MC was going to confess to her, go to the bakery and get her a cake. It's her fault he's in the hospital. But anyway, we also got the revelation of Yuri and Kodonoha being descendants of the Dark Interlopers. Although, if you've played these mods before, then you already know that. But anyway, so here we are now. Monika did her best to make light conversation as we left the school, but I don't think I was much of a good conversation partner, considering I gave her nothing but short answers. There's just so much on my mind right now that I can't just... Akane? Did you hear me? Home sweet home. Oh, right. Sorry. Hey, would you feel better if I maybe stayed over for a while? No! I mean, you don't have to do that, Monika. Is it your mother? Well, kind of. I know the issues you've had with your parents, but my mom is on another level. Right now, I can just hear her saying you're some sort of preppy bitch with a stick up her ass or something hurtful. Oh, I see. No, Monika, that's not... I don't think that way about you, Monika. You're none of that stuff. Lady's just some bitter old drunk who hates everything, that's all. That's why I'm afraid to have someone over. Lady hates pretty much everything about me. The way I dress, the way I talk, the fact that I have people in my life who don't think I'm a mistake. Which, yeah, in case you forgot from Chapter 1. Yeah, Akane's mom, Mizore, which she does get name-dropped here. Yeah, basically made it seem like, yeah, that having Akane was a huge mistake and whatever, and that she would have been happier otherwise. Anyway. Akane, I know you don't feel that way about me. I know you don't feel that way about me. It just made me think back to some of the things I've heard people say about me before. Kind of going back to my talk from the last video of how everyone thought that I was some kind of conceited jerk who was acting like he was too good for everybody. And I'm like, no, if anything, I don't think I'm good enough to talk to you people. What are you thinking? Ignoring that, I don't want to turn my back on a friend. Especially if I know they're really hurting right now. Please, Monika. I know you mean well, but I could never forgive myself if Lady said or did anything to hurt you. It wouldn't be the first time I've lost friends because of her. I'm sure I could handle it. I mean, I put up with all the nasty things Destiny says about me. And besides Reiko, I'm not a favorite among the officers in the student council. Just take my word for it. Besides, I don't want her doing anything to you when you've been one of the best friends I could have asked for. You, Kodo, the entire literature club. You guys mean so much to me, and I don't want to lose you. I'm startled when Monika pulls me in for a hug. As I look down, I notice a tear land on my shoulder. You're not going to lose us, Akane. Please, don't think that way. This line right here especially hits and digs deep because going back to the fact that Akane was inspired by a very special girl in my life by the name of Darlene. One of the things that Darlene thought, thanks to her depression, was that she had to be or act or dress a certain way, just to have people stay in her life. Little did she seem to realize, though, that the people that truly care about you, they won't care about, like, how you dress or what you do or whatever. Like, they care about you, the person. So in this case, it's like, I care about you, Darlene, not you, the hot girl that I see in class every day. And well, unfortunately, through her depression, she kind of lashed out at me and basically, like, said that I was a nuisance and essentially did not want me around anymore, even though it's like, I did everything I could to be there for her, and yet, well, my best efforts went to waste, I guess. And in talking over with some friends, like, what happened with her and just our sad story in general, someone did kind of come to help me realize that at the end of the day, this right here is what matters. Like, anyone that truly cares about you, they will stay with you no matter what. Well, unfortunately, Darlene just kept kind of pushing me away until she... Not only did she make me feel unwanted, but she literally told me, like, that I was essentially unwanted. And totally destroyed me inside, but... So I guess you could say, if Darlene were still here, this is for you. And this is what I wish I could tell you right now. But obviously that can't be the case now. But anyway. The people that really care about you will stay by your side no matter what. That's something I've learned ever since I started the literature club. And in a sense, that was something I learned since the day that I had her in my life. Here I am crying again on your shoulder. There's nothing wrong with that. If it makes you feel better, you can cry all you want on my shoulder. I don't deserve friends like you. And I don't deserve a wonderful guy like Daniel. Of course you do, Akane. It's like Kodo said back there. You mean a great deal to me, too. And you deserve someone who's going to love, cherish, and treat you right. And you deserved so much more, Darlene. It's just a shame that, well, thanks to your depression, it just... Well, unfortunately, you just weren't able to see it that way. Everyone does, you know. Okay, Momoko. Oh man, she does say that a lot. Yup, she does. Thanks to the way I've written her. Which I think I mentioned in the Summer of Love videos, but she kind of gets that from a character from the rather obscure anime Wedding Peach. But anyway. Monica pulls away from me slightly, but puts both her hands on my shoulders. Don't ever think that way about yourself. You're a very sweet, caring person, Akane. Yeah, and I guess this part is just extra hard for me just because it's like... All of these things right here are things I wish I could have said to Darlene. Not knowing, well, not knowing what was going to be happening at the end of the day. Or rather, what was eventually going to happen to her. And like I said, she She pretty much made me feel like I was unwanted, told me a lot of hurtful things, and I just... At that point, there wasn't really much I could do, and some people even basically said that the best thing for me to do was to walk away. As much as I didn't want to, but... You're fun to talk to, and you're always considerate of others. Kind of like Daniel, actually. We love having you around. That's why I really wish we could have had you be with the rest of the club. Yeah, me too. Please, Akane. If you need to talk to someone, remember that I'm just a phone call or a text away. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. either. Get a hold of me when you need to, and I'll get back to you the moment I can. Thank you, Monica. Okay. Worst case, if I can't stay with you, then maybe you can stay over with me, if you need to. Alright. I think I'll be fine, though. She takes her hands away from my shoulders and takes a few steps back. Alright, then. If you change your mind, reach out to me. My dad might still be rough around the edges, but my mom will make him understand if I explain it to them. I'll keep that in mind. See you tomorrow, Akane. Yeah, see you tomorrow. As I watch that swaying brown ponytail disappear, I watch as that swaying brown ponytail disappears into the distance. I know what she said was genuine, but I still feel something weighing down on my heart. How shameless. Huh? Who's there? I look around, but there's no one else in sight. Wait, so then... I must be getting pretty tired if I'm hearing voices all of a sudden. Yeah, maybe that's it. I shrug it off and make it inside. Maybe I'm just exhausted from everything today. Now I'm hearing voices. Jeez. Oh, wait. I've got to call Miss Yamaguchi. I get my phone and dial her number. My phone rings for a bit before someone picks up. And there she is. Hello, dearie. I was wondering when I'd be hearing from you. And like I said, sorry if she sounds too much like Miss Kursu, Himari, and anyone else I give this voice, or something similar. Yeah. Hi, Miss Yamaguchi. Darling, please. Just call me Yume. You've always been such a polite young lady, but please, there's no need to be so formal around me. Oh, right. Sorry about that. It's no problem. Apologies if I sound a bit far away. I've got you on speakerphone at the moment. Yeah, because, well, we kind of only have one pose for Yume, so it's like... How would you hold a phone like this? So, yeah, that was just the... I mean, option one could be use your imagination, but I almost feel like it'd be better to use your imagination just to imagine that there's a phone, like, maybe somewhere in this room that you just maybe can't see. Anyway, well, I'm sure you have a lot of questions for me, so I'll be more than happy to answer them. Are you sure? I'm just busy arranging some new imported goods, that's all. There's no one else here either, so you've got my full attention. Good. Good. I'd rather not talk about any of this with people eavesdropping.
Right, so I'm sure Monica told you everything, more or less, when she talked to you, right? Yes, and I can't believe something so terrible like that happened to your darling Daniel.
Somebody's blushing. Okay, well. Okay, we already know. There's no point in, like, calling attention to it now.
I imagine your heart must have felt like it was shattered into pieces. Oh, don't say it like that. I'm not wrong, though, am I? Well, no, but... Darling, it's okay to be in love. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And I'm not just saying that as an advocate of love. Well, okay. But please don't tell anyone, Miss Yume. I know you won't make fun of me, but I can't say the same thing about others and... or for other people, and I don't know. Akane, calm down, sweetie. Deep breaths. I'm not going to tell anyone about how you feel about Daniel. You can trust me on that. Still, I feel like you shouldn't be so worried about what other people are thinking.
And you hear that, Darlene? And again, you and I both kind of struggled with that. Like I said, well, both Akane and I guess just any mod that has her as like the female lead is going to be personal to me for that reason. Because Akane is basically a mix of essentially, well, various aspects of both me and Darlene. And, well, I guess we both struggled with self-love. We struggled with trying to handle what other people would say or think about us. And of course we both struggled with depression in our own ways.
What matters the most is the feelings you and him have for each other. I know you're right. This whole time I was scared that he'd reject me if I went up to him and he told me. Or if I went up to him and told me.
Oh, okay, wait. Oops. I think it'd just be... This whole time I was scared that he'd reject me if I went up to him and told him. It's like, yes, you're gonna go up to him and tell yourself, I love you. Well, anyway.
Now that I know he likes me too, I'm starting to question if I deserve someone like him as my boyfriend. He went out of his way to get me a cake from that bakery. A chocolate cake. I never told him I loved chocolate cake. Oh, right. The new bakery that opened up not too long ago. The nerve of those people. Oh, what was that? Oh, nothing, dearie. Anyway, you were saying? I mean, he went that extra mile to not only find out what I like, but get it for me as a gift. I just feel like maybe I don't deserve someone so sweet and thoughtful as him. He nearly got killed because of me, Miss Yume. I feel like I don't deserve someone like that. I know he did all that to confess to me, but now I wouldn't be surprised if he hated me and never wanted to see me again.
I don't know when, but it looks like I started crying again during all of that. And in front of my boss, too. I practically rip off my glasses so I can dry my tears with my sleeve.
I know Monica told me not to think this way, but sometimes I wonder if Daniel would have been better off if we never met. He doesn't hate you, dearie. What? Just call it a hunch of mine, Akane. And you know how often my hunches are right. Deep down, I know Daniel doesn't hate you. In fact, I'm very certain that he not only wants to see you again, but he wants to tell you how much he loves you. But I almost got him killed, Miss Yume. No, dearie, you didn't. You didn't try to run him over, nor did you ask someone to do it for you.
I'll give you $20 if you do this for me. Like, essentially. Which, yeah, we know she didn't do it.
The best way I could describe this would be a freak accident of sorts.
I don't say much of anything as I try to calm myself down. Miss Yume continues speaking as I sit down.
You know, in older days, true love meant something much different than what it does today. In fact, some men were more than willing to put their lives on the line if it meant protecting their special someone. I haven't met him myself, but Daniel definitely sounds like an old soul to me. At least, just based on what I've heard about him from you and the lovely Miss Katsura. Oh, so Yeri told you about him? Yes, she's mentioned him in passing to me whenever she stops on by. Don't worry, dearie, she isn't going to try stealing him from you, if that's what you're thinking. What? I never said I... Relax, darling, I know. At the end of the day, Daniel is willing to go above and beyond, because that's how much you mean to him. Tell me, Akane, how do you think he'd feel if he woke up in that hospital just to find out you're thinking this way? What do you mean? Think of it another way. You fall in love with a wonderful man, and you want to show him how much he means to you. You do everything you can, go above and beyond, to express your love to him. Ideally, you'd be hoping he returns those feelings to you, but instead, he tells you he can't accept your gesture and to find someone else.
Sound familiar for anyone who's played Chapter 1? Because Akane basically did that to him in the dream world.
How would that make you feel? Well, I'd feel kind of bad. Exactly. You're going to break the poor dear's heart if you turn him down like that. He means a lot to you, and you mean a lot to him. And Monica is right, dearie. You can't be here thinking someone's life would be better off without you in it. That kind of thinking isn't healthy for you or those around you. I can only hope you're not thinking about... No! After what Sayuri told us about her depression and those thoughts she had about ending it all, I'd never want to do that.
And well, unfortunately, I guess without going into it a little too much, Darlene did have thoughts like this. And it honestly scared me. Like, I would worry about her whenever she would start talking like this, and... well... I guess no point in really thinking about it too much now, but... it's like I said before, Akane does take a lot of inspiration from both Darlene and me in that respect. Like I said, barring certain aspects of the both of us.
I'm relieved to hear that, darling. I only bring it up because I've heard people talk that way before, and more often than not, they end up taking the permanent way out. No one could ever replace that sweet, adorable attitude of yours. And the world would miss that wonderful smile you have. Your friends would miss you terribly as well. I'm pretty sure your father would be devastated if anything happened to you.
And again, if you did play Chapter 1, Akane's father is essentially the one good parent she has in her life, while the mom basically looks at her with disdain and whatever. Her father sees her as, I guess the best way I can put it, like, she is, like, the most important thing in his life to him. He basically sees her as his precious little girl, and, like, he would be destroyed if something happened to her. And I think I mentioned it before as well, but Darlene was kind of like the opposite of me in the sense of like how our parents were. My mom was the most important person to me in my life, and she loved me dearly. My father, he didn't know jack about me and only thought about himself, and oftentimes made me feel like I was nothing but a disappointment to him. Darlene, on the other hand, her father was probably like one of the most important people in her life, and from the way she would talk about him, I know that he loved her dearly. Her mother, not so much. Her mother, from what I understand, was kind of a selfish jerk in her own right, and I'm not even going to go into like some of the stories like that she's shared with me about her. Which was something that I always sort of found interesting in the sense of, like, her father was, like, the most important, well, one of the most important people to her, while my mother was one of the most important people to me. And we both had very bad parents that were just bad people in general. Selfish, and just only thinking, well, not even thinking about how we felt in our own rights. So I guess you could say that, well, I drew from a bit of, well, what I did remember of her father, and just imagining, like, well, if I'm feeling this way, hearing about her passing, I can only imagine he felt all of that times 20 or something. So, anyway.
Yeah. My dad loves me to the moon and back. At least, that's what he's always told me. At least, that's what he's always told me ever since I was little. He'd also tell me how much he hoped to see me grown up, and living the best life that I could. So I'd never want to do something that'll destroy him inside. That's good to hear, darling. You're under a lot of stress right now, so take some time off. But then what about my pay? And if I'm gone for too long, what about... You just leave all the worrying to me, dearie. I can go ahead and just put you as taking pay time off with an end date of TBD.
Or to be determined.
Can you even do something like that? It's my store, so I don't see why not. Well, okay. Thank you for being so understanding right now. I just wanted this to be a normal, regular day, but instead, things just started going crazy the moment I got that letter.
Okay, I'm back and a little bit calmer now. See, I wasn't exactly joking when I said that any story with Akane as the female lead is going to be personal to me, just because no matter how you spin it, Akane and Darlene are always going to be linked together. There's honestly no separating the two. So, of course, when it came to writing Akane's story, figuring out, okay, who is she, what is she like, so on and so on, Darlene was the first person I thought of, given how I wanted to write her. But just kind of unsure, alright, well, how do I go about this? Since Darlene was always this fun, kind of confident fan of gaming, anime, and just very easy to talk to. Which is why I was always here like, she was just this beautiful girl that I thought would literally never notice me or know I was alive, and yet who would have guessed she'd become somebody all these years later, even after her death, is someone that's still so important to me. Okay, anyway.
Letter? What letter? Well, I don't know if I can tell you exactly, but it came from someone who's called A.
Okay, well, like I said, nothing in here is misspelled. So, geez, though.
The crazy thing is, they told me about Daniel being in the hospital before anyone in the school knew. Ah, I see. I was wondering when he'd finally step away from the curtain. Miss Yume? If it is who I think it is, then I think I've got a grasp on the situation. And why you're trying to protect Yuri and Kodonoha. What? Who told you? No one did. I had my suspicions, but I could never confirm it for myself. Of course, I never wanted to say anything, as to not scare the poor dear. The fact you're willing to keep their secret reaffirms you're a wonderful person and a loyal friend. Okay, but if no one ever told you, how do you know? I've traveled the world a lot in my time, dearie. I've seen and heard things you couldn't even imagine. So I know a little about the Dark Interlopers, as well as Articus. If he's watching out for you, then I can tell you that you're in good hands. Even then, dearie, if you ever need to talk to someone, my door is always open to you. Okay, thank you. Just keep the fact I know about their secret as a little secret of our own, okay? Okay, you've got it. I might even be privy to a few things not even Yuri and Kodo are aware of, but let's save that for the next time we meet in person. Well, alright. I'm not sure when that'll be, but yeah, maybe you can fill in some blanks. It just sounds so complicated and unbelievable, but Yuri and Kodo aren't liars. They're some of the nicest people I've met. Understandable, of course.
Excuse me, well, yeah, I guess, like I said, well, both Mio and Akane's voices do kind of wear on me after a while, but anyway.
Understandable, of course. Looking at it from the outside, it all does sound rather bizarre and outlandish, but oftentimes the truth is stranger than fiction, as they say. Okay, dearie. I'll be waiting to hear back from you. Right, and thank you again. We'll talk again soon, dearie. Take care now. Yeah. You too.
And with that, we end our call. I lay back against the sofa as I go over everything we talked about. Kind of strange how she knows all about that witchcraft and cult stuff. Then again, she has told me about some of the weird things she's seen in her travels.
Daniel, I'm so sorry. I wish I could talk to you right now. Tell you that I accept your confession. Tell you you're so sweet and thoughtful. Tell you that I want to be a good girlfriend to you. When we finally get to see each other again, I hope I can make it up to you.
As I sit back up, I put my glasses on and heave a little sigh. I know I told Miss Yume that I'd never want to do this, but every once in a while, those thoughts creep into my head. I think back to the literature club and Monica telling me that I'm an honorary member. Back to when Sayori spoke about her depression and the battles she fought in her head.
How does she do it?
I know they told me that I was welcome there and all, but then, for some reason... Lies.
Huh?
Huh? That voice again. Where is it coming from?
It's all lies. Just to make themselves feel better. No, Monica told me nothing but empty promises. They're all too nice to tell you how they really feel. Monica would never lie to me, though. Are you sure? After all, you haven't been there that long. No,
That voice! Why am I hearing things? And why is it telling me all this? Maybe I should just take some time for myself. I'm sure they'll be expecting me tomorrow, but I think I just need to be alone for a while.
Yes. Take all the time you need to think it over.
At that moment, something hits me. I'm sorry, you guys, but I don't think I can handle being around people right now. I need to think it over. Yeah, it might be better this way. It won't be for that long. I'll go back to them eventually. For now, I need to be by myself. A few days later. It's been almost a week since everyone heard about Daniel. Funny enough, Amy still hasn't shown up at all to school. No one's really talking about that, though. No, the hot gossip everyone's been hanging on is Akane the Killer Queen and the dead boyfriend she killed. Of course they are. Outside of some mean pranks and people just outright attacking me, not much else happened after what Wallace did. Monica was true to her word and went to the headmistress about Wallace, who got expelled right on the spot. I'm almost surprised he didn't get arrested. At least, not right away. Since then, Zhiritha has sort of been careful around me, but I know he's got something planned in that empty head of his. As for Destiny and Momoko, well... they haven't been as on top of things as I thought they'd be, but I'm sure they're planning something. I had a brief run-in with them when I was on my way home yesterday, but nothing major. That doesn't mean other students haven't been picking up the slack. Yesterday I ended up drenched after a surprise water balloon attack. Really mature, right? I haven't gone back to the literature club in a while. Not since Yuri and Kotonoa spoke with all of us, anyway. I know I said I'd go back to them eventually, but for some reason, I can't bring myself to show my face to them again. It's like there's a voice in my head convincing me to stay away. Maybe they're pretending to like me because Monica or Kotonoa are around so much. When they're not, they probably want to claw my eyes out. Instead, I've been here on the roof eating lunch alone. Just like junior high all over again. Just like middle school all over again for me. Because, well, the short version is all my friends in elementary school. Once we made it to middle school, most of them thought that they were too cool to be seen with me, so anytime I tried to sit with them, "Go away, Daniel!" So I'd have to eat lunch by myself. And yeah, that was not fun. Especially when other people would kind of take advantage of the guy sitting by himself and decide to have a bit of fun. Like these girls who specifically sat there with me just so they could throw food at me like I'm some kind of animal at the zoo. Did I mention that middle school was the worst 2 years of my life? So, yeah. Monica's found me up here, but I've been able to shake her off with whatever excuses I came up with. She keeps reminding me I'm always welcome in the club room and to reach out to her. She's nothing more than a pretty little liar. Ugh, no! I don't know why I've been having these thoughts lately, but it's been eating away at me. The nightmares have been getting worse, too. This last one really broke my heart. When Daniel confessed to me, for whatever reason, I told him he was nothing but a nuisance to me. I even told him I never wanted to see him again. The worst part was that I literally shoved him away from me, and he fell into some desks getting injured. Which was specifically from the director's cut of Chapter 1. Why am I having dreams like this? I love Daniel. I would never want to injure him or break his heart. Unless these dreams are trying to tell me that he really is better off without me. Miss Yume hasn't ever lied to me before. Maybe she got it wrong this time? Maybe he would be happier without me. Especially if I'm just going to break his heart in the end. With my lunch finished, I head back inside and get on with the rest of the day. Yeah, these parts are definitely really sad for me, and I made this edit, so it does feel kind of strange having these eyes looking at me, knowing what they represent, and yeah. Well, in case it isn't obvious, what those eyes specifically represent is what's happening to her mind whenever Zhiritha's kind of controlling her. Or at least planting all these nasty thoughts in her head. It's just a regular afternoon. Classes are over for the day. For most, it's time for clubs. Not for me, though. Monica just texted me asking to walk home with me like last week, but I turned her down like I have been the last few days. Again, nothing's misspelled, it's just a word is missing. Whenever she texts me, I just make up some excuse. Typically, I just leave when it's club time and walk home by myself. Not today, though. Lady is at home, and I'd like to get some work done, so here I am. I reach into my desk, looking for my textbooks, when, all of a sudden... Ah! Some of the students still hanging out after class giggle to themselves. I pull up my hand. Wow. Someone had the bright idea to place a mousetrap in here without me noticing. If I wasn't the victim here, I might even be impressed. I free my hand from the mousetrap, tossing it aside and looking up at the clock. It's too bad Kodano had to leave, or else maybe I'd have some backup.
What was that sound?
Himari looks around and the room falls silent. She then looks at me, but I face away. I'd rather not drag Himari down with me. If I weren't here causing problems, maybe things would be better.
Oh, it's you. I was almost here thinking you ended up kidnapped or something. So, how was school or whatever you were doing?
Lady, I don't bother with her. She's clearly had a lot to drink again. She's out here pretending to be a good mom, acting like she's interested in me. Who's she trying to fool? Except herself, obviously.
Shit, talk about depressing. What's with that look on your face? Are those two bitches screwing with you again? You ever thought about why they pick on you and nobody else?
Well, technically, Momoko does pick on Natsuki, but that's expanded on other mods. But Misore basically doesn't really give a crap, so she doesn't know jack. Kind of the same way my father doesn't know jack about me.
Almost like how your dad picked the worst time to knock me up and get me stuck with you. I could have had a better life. Probably the worst time in my career.
Your career as a professional slut, you mean? Dad told me to ignore her if she ever starts talking shit about him. I love you, Dad. I really do. But one of these days, she's gonna say something that'll make me explode on her. You're the only good parent I have. I wish I could have gone with you instead. I can't concentrate on this right now. I feel the need to get up. Everyone here thinks I'm weird anyway, so not like me getting up and wandering around class will be any weirder. Not to mention almost everyone here hates me anyway, so what have I got to lose? I take a look out the window and I see someone. Look familiar? That freaky evil masked guy. It's him. I've seen him before. He's out there. He's there 1 second and gone the next. I just can't get over how that sounds like a woman screaming. I don't know what his deal is, but I've had to be extra careful walking home from school these days. With my luck, he's a stalker, waiting for the chance to abduct me. Who knows? Maybe he'll do that and stop this nightmare. Then everyone would be happy, right? Just like Lady says.
I'm heading out right now.
Don't wait up or anything. And whatever you do, don't make any noise when I get back. I don't want anyone knowing I've got someone living with me, especially a daughter. Jeez, I hate having to go through all this bullshit just because guys get turned off by a woman with extra baggage. Things would be so much easier if your dad took you with him. Or anyone for that matter. It'd sure make my life easier. Whatever. Just don't screw this up for me. Yeah. It might make some people's lives easier. Wait, no, why am I thinking this way? Miss Yume told me that's not true. But then... I don't know. My mind has felt so jumbled these last few days. I look over to the other end of the room. Mizumi seems pretty busy with her assignments. And, yeah, unfortunately, she doesn't get to show up here. Maybe I'll see if we can have her in Chapter 3, but I don't know. But it's like, yeah, if Akane never existed, there is a good chance I would be using Mizumi more, since, well, they kind of share the same archetype. Cute gamer girlfriend with glasses, and maybe kind of shy. And, like, hardcore otaku. So, like, yeah, essentially, pretty much, like, any idea or, like, plans I might have had with the Mizumi character kind of went out the window once we finally had Akane made. So, it's kind of like I said in the first video. In another universe, who knows? Then again, she didn't get the guy she likes hit by a bus, and in the hospital like some kind of jinx. Either way, I'm not going to bother her. We've never spoken much, but Kodonoha told me we'd get along fine. Yep, this is kind of like my in-universe way of sort of poking fun at the fact that they're kind of similar in a few ways. As I continue with my wandering, a paper plane hits my head. I pick it up from the ground and read what it says. Kill anyone lately? Really creative. I bet it took you all night to come up with that one. I let out a sigh as I send it flying toward the teacher's desk. In doing so, it lands on someone else's desk instead. Well, I guess I asked for it the moment I sent it flying wherever. Hey, what's the big idea?
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
I walk over to get the plane from her. That's when I see she's copying homework from someone else.
What are you even doing here anyway, Killer Queen?
My mind completely blanks as she gives me a cold stare.
Trying to intimidate me with your little scare tactics? Yeah, nice try. You're not gonna get me killed like your creepy boyfriend. Keep your hands to yourself, Killer Queen.
Killer Queen has already touched the doorknob. Okay, no. Yes, I probably could have made many JoJo references in this mod, but this is the closest you're gonna get to anything mentioning Yoshikage Kira. Or Killer Queen. Or, I'm sorry, Deadly Queen, as the English dub says, because we don't want to get sued.
He's not my... You know what? Forget it.
Of course, the moment I turn around, she crumbles it up and throws it back at me. Figures. As if dealing with Destiny and Momoko wasn't already enough. At least in those days, it was just them and everyone mostly left me alone. Not anymore.
To yearn for the days that aren't there anymore. Were you that blissfully unaware of what you did back then? Or are you just completely shameless?
I think back to the water balloon incident for a moment. I was walking through the courtyard like I normally do when out of nowhere I got pelted by water balloons. Some hit me directly. Some hit the ground I was walking on. It all happened so fast, so I wound up falling and hurting my ankles. I thought it was a group of boys considering the pranks they pulled, but no. It was a group of 3 random girls I'd never spoken to in my life. Like I said, it's not misspelled, so... Yeah, I really don't like that. You run it through, you try to word check or spell check, whatever, and it's like, yes, this is all spelled right, but this is not grammatically correct.
Ha! Look at her now. All washed up and nowhere to go. Yeah, she's head over heels alright. Not just in love, but in water, too. Let's face it, your body's probably the only thing you got going for you. I bet Daniel wouldn't think about you if he found out how creepy you are.
I felt her kick me as I tried to get back up.
I got her backpack. Jeez, Kotobuki, talk about selfish. Learn to spread the wealth, why don't you? Careful. Don't get too close, or she might stick a bus after you.
They laughed and laughed at me, while one of the girls emptied my backpack's contents all over me.
Wow, look at all that homework. I bet all the teachers will be happy seeing this. Just how do you manage to get good grades all the time, Kotobuki? Probably the same way she got Daniel all hot for her. Not like there's anything going on in that empty head of hers.
I pick up my homework assignments and try one more time to get back up. Those 3 bitches wouldn't let that happen. I got kicked a few times and shoved back to the ground.
Aw, did we hurt your little whore feelings? Well, you deserve it.
Like I said, these were some of the hardest scenes to write, just because I'm here like as it was, like, I grew up with a lot of bullying. Darlene kind of grew up with, or went through some bullying herself, from what she told me. So I'm just kind of here like, let's face it, it's never a good feeling, so...
Yeah, I guess you could say if these scenes are, like, very...
like, the dialogue is kind of not good.
Keep in mind that I didn't want to write most of these scenes. But as the lead writer, it's kind of on me to do it. As much as I didn't want to. Like, even Nightmare Ninja, our coder, was here like... I don't want, like, we both agreed, like, we don't want to see Akane going through this, but this is what the story kind of calls for. So, I mean, yeah, like, we throw that out, but then unfortunately, then the story doesn't really hold much weight to it. That voice again. I look around. A couple of guys do some inappropriate things with their hands when my eyes land on them. A few girls make a slit-throat motion with to their necks. Ignoring that, why was I even thinking about the water balloon incident? No, just forget it. As I go back over to one of the windows, I see Aiko gave up on copying whatever homework she had. Now she's staring at her phone with the stupidest grin on her face. Probably some stupid Reddit post. I'm startled when she starts laughing out loud, dropping her phone in the process. I don't know why, but I made a grab for it to see what was so hilarious. It's a picture of me soaking wet from those water balloons. I didn't even realize... Watch it! I feel her slap the phone out of my hand. And then... I feel a searing hot pain across my face. Who said you had permission to touch my phone? Great! It's not enough you defiled Daniel, but you defiled my phone, too. Now I'm gonna have to buy another one. Thanks a lot, Killer Queen.
Killer Queen has already touched your phone. Yeah, unfortunately.
Then why do you have that picture on your phone? Picture? What picture? No idea what you're talking about. Don't ask so many questions. Hey, just what reason did you have to slap her? Himari, when did she see all of that?
You are dead. 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 Aiko seems to lose that holier-than-thou attitude in a matter of seconds.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Really?
Yeah, I've heard more genuine apologies from influencers on SplashTube. Aiko goes back to her desk with her defiled phone, not saying anything or even looking at me. As I'm heading back over to my desk, Himari stops me.
Hey, are you hurt? Huh? Oh, oh, well, how hard did she hit you? She didn't hit me like super hard. She just slapped me, that's all.
That's all. Yeah. Like, poor Akane is literally just here thinking, like, you know, it's no big deal. But, well, Himari, and me especially, we know otherwise.
That's still not okay, Akane. I had to bring this up with the headmistress. Wait, you don't have to do that. You don't deserve to be treated like that, Akane. Otherwise, we'll have people like her and Wallace doing whatever they want. If you don't want to go right now, then we won't. But I am going to make it a point to talk to her about this by tomorrow afternoon at the latest. Okay.
Her, Monika, and Natsuki have already gone above and beyond looking out for me. I don't want to keep bothering them about every little thing that happens. That's not including all the research Yuri and Kodonoha have been doing behind the scenes. As I put a hand on my chair, I get a nasty splitting headache. I heard Kotobuki has a late-night part-time job. Oh, really? A hottie like her? I wouldn't doubt it.
Apparently she's so poor that she has that job just to support herself.
Seriously?
But I always thought she was so pure. Sucks to be you, then. Sorry for bursting your bubble.
Well, you know what they say. If there's something wrong with the bitch, there's something wrong with the pup. Is her mom hot like her? The fuck? Dude, seriously? Had no idea you were into MILFs. Dude, I'm not, I swear! Akane's mom has got it going. Okay, no. And before you ask, I honestly don't even know what Mizure looks like. I haven't... You can probably guess why I haven't sat down trying to design any sort of concept art for her. Mizure is just an unlikable character in general, not... Like, I'm not exactly in a hurry to draw her up or have someone commission somebody to make her. But if her mom is hot like she is, maybe I'll make an exception. Honestly, even if she was, you're seriously considering hooking up with anyone from that cursed family? Yeah, dude, seriously. I'm sure her whole family is full of jinxes like her. I mean, why do you think no one's ever seen her dad? He's either dead or he got smart, hopped in his truck, and kept on driving. Hell yeah, get as far away from the crazy as you can get. What was that? Something very cringy that was written by me. Clearly. I never knew there were some creepy guys talking about me like that. Yes, I was just here like... Okay, we've seen how some of the girls are treating Akane, but then I'm like, well, okay, to kind of balance things out. I was here like, okay, what if we had, like, some guys... Obviously, like... Well, they're not harassing her, but they're just talking very, very creepy about her. And I'm like... That was, like, one of the only things I could think of. So... Anyway, though...
You're always so down on yourself. Such a cute little thing, too. You really are an absolute knockout, Akane. If only you had more confidence in yourself. Don't you see how much the guys around your school are talking about you?
Well, they're not talking about her in a good way. There's that voice again. I turn around only to see there's still no one there.
After all, you don't need to pay attention to anything those girls keep telling you. Hey, Akane. Ew, keep away from that jinx if you know it's good for you. What are you talking about? Didn't you hear? About that poor guy, Daniel, I mean. He really fancied her and wanted to confess his love. That's when he became Miss Killer Queen's sacrifice. That's just tragic. Where did you hear something like that? How did you not know that? Everyone's been talking about it for the last few days, you know. He got hit by a bus after getting something nice for her. Now he's practically on his deathbed, all because of her. The worst part about it is she's even gloomier than usual. So indifferent. I mean, if it were your boyfriend on his deathbed, wouldn't you care? Who knows? Maybe the reason she's so indifferent is because she's out wishing we were dead too. We could be the next ones on our list, Desi, you know? You two seriously have no idea what to do with your free time. You must have it pretty good if you've got time to spend on trying to make someone's life miserable for no reason. Oh, what do you know, Miss Debate Club VP? Not like you're any different. I swear, you're so full of yourself, you know. At least Desi's not out here acting like a damn saint. Whatever. Don't say we didn't warn you, Himari. Here I thought she'd be pretty smart being in the debate club and all. And yet she's not. I bet her head's just as empty as Akane's eyes. Yeah, there sure ain't a brain in there. Then again, it's not like she needs one to get around, you know. Not when all the guys are too busy looking somewhere else. Burn!
I remember that. It was yesterday when I ran into Himari.
Those two have been causing you so much heartache, right? Stop sitting there and taking that torture. You can make them stop, Akane. All you have to do is make the right decision. That's all.
I'm still hearing that voice inside my head. I can't be in here right now. I take my backpack and homework as I go out into the hall. Then I make a break for the restrooms.